Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. In this session we will discuss previous year question paper for HSTR Mathematics because 2015 was the last exam conducted for high school teacher recruitment examination in Karnataka. So we have only 2015 question paper as the latest question paper for HSTR. Okay. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe right now, and also if you are liking my work, share my videos among your friends and other aspirants, and also you can join my Telegram channel to be connected with me. There is a Telegram group also related to that, so you can join that group also. So this is the syllabus for HSTR for PM method, mathematics syllabus that is. So here you can see the syllabus includes a number system, surds, sets, progressions, commercial mathematics, statistics, permutation and combinations, probability, basic concepts of algebra, polynomials, linear equations, exponents, quadratic equation, variation, basic geometrical ideas, triangles, quadrilaterals, polygons, circles, mensuration, then trigonometry, coordinate geometry, symmetry and matrices. Okay. So all these 24 chapters are included in the syllabus for HSTR PM method mathematics. Now, the most important reminder which I want to give you at this point of time is that, friends, this is a high time to start preparation for HSTR because I feel that notification will come suddenly, like TET notification came, right? Just before 1 or 2 days also we did not have clue that the notification will come on that day, right? So it came just like that immediately. So I believe that a notification for HSTR also will come suddenly, and after the notification come, only 1.5 to 2 months will be there for the examination. Okay, so this is the main point which you should keep in your mind and you should start preparing. So how we will be preparing for mathematics? See, actually if we see the paper pattern, there are 40 questions. 40 multiple choice questions were there in mathematics, plus 10 questions for mathematics methodology. Okay, proper 40 questions for mathematics and 10 multiple choice questions for mathematics methodology. Okay, so what about the rest 50? From that rest 50, 40 questions are for physics and 10 questions are for physics methodology. Okay, so basically 50 questions from physics and 50 questions from mathematics. So here, if you see the question paper carefully, the 2015 question paper, how was the pattern? Means in paper 2, question number 1 to question number 40 was a proper physics questions were there, and then question number 41 to question number 80 proper mathematics questions were there, then 81 to question number 100 methodology questions were there. Okay, this methodology was based on physics and maths. Okay, so this was the pattern. So in this class we will be solving question 41 to question 50. Okay, so 10 questions we will be solving in this class. So if you want the 2015 question paper, you will find it in my Telegram channel. Okay, so you will get that Telegram channel link below this video. You can join the Telegram channel and you can see the question paper. Okay, so let us start discussing these important questions from 2015. Okay, see, from now onwards it's better that you tune in into my channel regularly because you will be getting many sessions like this from now on. Okay, so if you have subscribed to my channel, then you have to hit that bell icon also, so that whenever I upload a new class, you will get the notification. Okay, if you want a proper systematic preparation, then better join the paid course also. So paid course schedule is very good to prepare for HSTR. You will get the link of the paid course details also in the description below this video, or if you have any doubt regarding the paid course, you can mail me here Atahar TET HSTR courses @gmail.com. Okay, you can mail me here or can message me on this number 9110558369, or you can write to me in the Telegram group also. Okay, you'll get the link below this video. So coming back to our class, first question from 2015 question paper was from a coordinate geometry. So the question is, if the points a, 0, 0, b and 1, 1 are collinear, then 1 by a plus 1 by b is equal to. So to solve this problem, you should be knowing the condition for collinearity. The condition for collinearity is x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2 is equal to 0. Actually, in the left hand side you will have half also, but it will go in the right hand side and it will become 0. So I am not writing that half here. Okay. So this is the condition for collinearity. Now what you have to do? Just to substitute the values here. See here, you have to give the coordinates their name so that you don't make any mistake. Okay. x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3. Now just substitute. x1 is a, y2 is b and y3 is 1 plus x2 is 0, so I will not write anything more, because anything multiplied by 0 will become 0. Then x3 will be 1 and y1 is 0 minus y2 is b. This is equal to 0. So this will be ab minus a plus, so this is 0, 1 into 0 will be 0 minus b, so you will have minus b here. So this is equal to 0. So ab minus a minus b is equal to 0, or minus of a plus b. I am taking minus outside and I will send this ab in the right hand side. So I will get minus ab. This minus and minus will get cancelled and I will have a plus b is equal to ab. But what I want is 1 by a plus 1 by b, right? So that's why to get that type of equation in the left hand side, I will divide this entire equation by ab. So I will get a by ab plus b by ab is equal to ab by ab, and this will get cancelled here, bb will get cancelled here, a will get cancelled. I will have 1 by b by 1 by a is equal to 1, or 1 by a plus 1 by b is equal to 1. Okay. So option 4 will be the correct answer for this problem. Okay. So here what is most important thing? Most important thing is you should know the condition for collinearity. Collinear means the points are lying on the same line. Okay. And you got this formula by the equation of slope. Next problem. The question is, in the given figure, ABCD is a rectangle in which segments AP and AQ are drawn as shown. Find the length of AP plus AQ. So here they have given one rectangle ABCD, and here they have given segments AP and AQ, and they are telling you to find the length of AP plus AQ. So you have to find the length of AP plus AQ. Okay. It is this line and this line. You have to find the length together. Okay. Now this problem is from trigonometry, because I am going to use the trigonometric angles here to find the answer. So the big triangle is there. No. In that triangle ABP, I can see that this is 90 degree, because this is a rectangle. Like that only, this is also 90 degree. This is also 90 degree. All the corners will have 90 degree. So I can easily apply my trigonometric angles right here, the ratios. So I will take sine 30 degree. So in this right angle triangle, this will be the opposite side, this will be the hypotenuse, and this will be the adjacent side. So sine 30 degree will be equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. What is the opposite side for sine 30? The opposite side is AB. What is the hypotenuse in triangle ABP? It is AP. So this I can have as a half. Why? Because sine 30 is half. So I will write half is equal to AB by AP, or because I have to find AP, the length is there here, I will write AP is equal to 2 times AB. But what is AB? AB is 60 centimeter as given in the question. So this will be equal to 120 centimeter. So I got AP. Now I should get AQ. Now to get AQ, what I have to do? I have to take triangle ADQ. In this triangle also I will take sine 30 degree easily, and here 30 degree opposite side will be DA or AD, and hypotenuse in the triangle will be AQ. So sine 30 is half and AD upon AQ, but I want AQ, that's why I will write AQ is equal to 2 times AD. But AD is given as 30 centimeter because this is a rectangle. BC is 30 centimeter, so opposite sides are equal. So AD also will be equal to 30 centimeter. So 2 into 30 centimeter, it will be 60 centimeter. Now I got AP also, I got AQ also. I can just add them up to find the length of AP plus AQ. So AP plus AQ will be equal to 120 plus 60. So this is equal to 180 centimeter. So option 4 will be the correct answer. Okay. So one tip which I would like to give you in this problem is that wherever you get a right angled triangle and you have one angle given, then apply trigonometry there. Your things will become very easy. Okay, you can easily solve the problems. In fact, trigonometry will give you shortcut many times. Okay, so for this you should be knowing the trigonometric table properly. You should be knowing the values of angles, sine 30, sine 60, sine 45, like that only, cos 30, cos 45, cos 60. You should be knowing all the trigonometric angles values, the trigonometric ratios, and the trigonometric identities. Okay. Next question. If the coordinates of P and Q are A cos theta, B sin theta, and minus A sin theta, B cos theta, then OP square plus OQ square is. This problem is from coordinate geometry. You have axis, x and y axis is there. There you have 2 points, P and Q is there. The coordinates of P are A cos theta, B sin theta, and coordinates of Q are minus A sin theta and B cos theta. So there is some origin also, obviously, correct? So you can touch this origin like this, and you can touch this origin like this, and they are telling you to find OP square plus OQ square. So here you can easily apply the distance formula. For OP, means this line, you have x1, y1, x2, y2, and for origin it will be 0, 0, and for P the coordinates are A cos theta, B sin theta. Correct? Now you can easily apply the distance formula, which is OP square is equal to x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. Just substitute. X1 is 0, x2 is A cos theta. Don't forget about the signs, okay? And x2 is 0 and y2 is B sin theta whole square. So this will give you OP square is the left hand side. In the right hand side, this minus also will go along with the square. So you will have A square cos square theta plus same manner B square sin square theta. Okay, let this be 1. Now you got OP square, right? Now you should get OQ square. Similarly, for OQ square, if you apply distance formula, your x1, y1 will become origin and x2, y2 will become the coordinates of Q now. So minus A sin theta and B cos theta. So OQ square is equal to, again, x1 minus x2 whole square. I will write directly now. It will become 0. Minus into minus will become plus A sin theta whole square plus 0 minus B cos theta whole square. So you will get OQ square as A square sin square theta plus B square cos square theta. This is 2. Now you should add up 1 and 2, right? Then only you will get OP square plus OQ square. So this will be equal to a square cos square theta plus b square sin square theta plus a square sin square theta plus b square cos square theta. So you have to take a square common once so that you get cos square and sin square inside, and similarly you take b square common, you will get sin square theta plus cos square theta. So there is one trigonometric identity which says that sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1, right? So this thing will become 1 and this thing also will become 1 inside the bracket, and you will get a square plus b square. So option 4 will be the correct answer for this question. Okay. So what are the formulae which you have used to solve this problem? One is distance formula. The second is the trigonometric identity. You need to be perfect with all these things in order to solve these type of problems. Okay. So of course, if you are a paid class aspirant, then though we are doing separate chapters in detail, right? So that will become very easy for you. But if you have not attended my paid classes or if you have not joined them, what you have to do is you have to learn from separate chapters separately, because see, in this question 2 chapters are involved. One is coordinate geometry chapter, that is the distance formula. The other one is the trigonometry identity also. So what this problem teaches us is that high school teacher recruitment examination is going to be little complicated. The problems involving two different type of formulas will be asked. Okay. Next, question number 44. The question is 0.01 is what percent of 0.1? So this is from commercial mathematics. Commercial mathematics is always little complicated only, right? Anyway, I will teach you to solve this problem in 2 methods. Okay. First method is, if 0.1 is for 100, then 0.01 is for what? Because 0.01 is what percent of 0.1 they are telling, right? So 0.1 is for 100%, then 0.01 will be for what? Do cross multiplication like unitary method. So x will be equal to 0.01 into 100 by 0.1, or x will be equal to 1 by 0.1. So this will be equal to 10%. Okay, so this is one method, or I have a second method also. See, percentage is equal to part by whole into 100%. Okay, this is the definition of percentage, right? Now, what is the part as per our question? As per our question, this is the part, right? 0.01 is what percent of 01 they are telling. So this is the whole as per our question. So part is 0.01 by 0.1 into 100%. So this will give us 1 by 10 into 100% or 10%. Okay. So any method which you feel comfortable is correct, but ultimately your answer should be correct. Okay, that is the main thing. No one is going to see your procedures in a competitive examination like this, right? So they want the correct answer which you will be ticking in the OMR sheet. Next, question number 45. So the question is, if 5% more is gained by selling an article for rupees 350, then by selling it for rupees 340, the cost of the article is. So options are rupees 50, rupees 160, rupees 200, rupees 225. So this is also from a commercial mathematics only. So to solve this problem, you should be knowing one main and important formula relating to gain percent. So gain percent is equal to selling price minus cost price by cost price into 100. Okay. So if you are a paid class aspirant, you will be knowing the speciality of these formulae. Anyway, so this is the formula which you should know. Gain percent is equal to selling price minus cost price by cost price into 100. So here, let the cost price be x. Let the cost price be x, because they are asking us to find the cost of the article, right? And we have been given 2 cases. What is case 1? Case 1 is that selling price is equal to 340 rupees. Okay. And what is the case 2? The case 2 is that selling price is equal to rupees 350. These are the 2 cases they are giving, right? So in first case, let's apply our formula. Gain percent is equal to selling price minus cost price by cost price. So selling price is 340, cost price we don't know. Again cost price we don't know, into 100. Okay. Again in case 2, gain percent is equal to selling price is 350, cost price we don't know, into 100. Now the question is, if 5% more is gained by selling price, so what is the additional gain? They are telling the additional gain is 5%. So here what will be our additional gain? Additional gain will be equal to, let this be 1, let this be 2. 2 minus 1, right? That will be our additional gain. But they have given that additional gain is 5%, right? So this 5 will be equal to 350 minus x by x into 100 minus 340 minus x by x into 100. Okay. So this 5 will be equal to, I will take a 100 by x common, so that I have inside the bracket 350 minus x minus 340 plus x. Okay, because this minus into minus will become plus. Okay, so this will be equal to 100 upon x into, here x will get cancelled and I will have 10 in the bracket. In the left hand side I have 5, right? So 5 is equal to 1000 by x, or x is equal to 1000 by 5, or this is equal to 200 rupees. So option 3 will be the correct answer. Okay. Simple, it is very simple. Only thing is you should be knowing the gain percentage formula, and you should understand that they are giving some additional gain. This 5% more they are telling, no, this is only additional gain. This word more means it is additional. Okay. Next question. The question is, if the line segments joining the points A, B and C, D subtends a right angle at the origin, then which of the equation is correct? So here, if you are not understanding the question, you can read it again and again. You will understand that this is from coordinate geometry, and this will be the figure for this problem, because they are talking about line segments which are joining the points A, B and C, D, and they are subtending at angle 90 degree, that too at origin. You can easily use the slope formula. So slope m is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So this ABCD is there, no, it is the x1, y1, x2, y2. We need to name them. Now, first find the slope of AC. So it will be y2 minus y1. Actually, you can do it like this. Don't name it like this because origin is there, no. You will get confused. So what you have to do is, for slope AC, when you talk about slope AC, what are the two coordinates? Coordinates of A are A, B, and origin are 0, 0, right? You take origin as x1, y1 and the slope as x2, y2 every time. So here what will be slope for me now? It will be B minus 0 by A minus 0. So this will be B by A. Okay. Similarly, you can take a slope of BC also. So here 0, 0, and for B it is C, D, right? So it will be x1, y1, x2, y2. Correct. So this will be equal to D minus 0 by C minus 0. So it will become D by C. Now they have told that AC is perpendicular to BC, right? So there is one condition for perpendicular slopes. If slope of two lines we are taking and those two lines are perpendicular to each other, slope of AC multiplied by slope of BC will be equal to minus 1. Now what is slope of AC? I got as B by A. And what is slope of BC which I got? It is D by C. So this is equal to minus 1. BD by AC is equal to minus 1, or BD equal to minus AC. And if you see the options, it's something like this is there. So AC plus BD will be equal to 0. Okay. So this is the correct answer. But in the options, this is not there. AC plus BD is equal to 0 is not there. This is the correct option. So they might have given grace marks for this question. Okay. So this is the correct answer for this question. Okay. So till now we have came across 3 coordinate geometry questions, right? So it means that coordinate geometry is a very important chapter for us. Next question. By looking the question only you can say that it is from trigonometry. The question is, if sin theta plus cos theta is equal to root 2 cos theta 90 minus theta, then cot theta is equal to, this is very simple, right? So they have given that sin theta plus cos theta is equal to root 2 cos 90 minus theta. So because they are asking us cot theta, we should be knowing that cot theta is the ratio of cos theta and sin theta. So for that, what you have to do to get cot theta here, you should divide by sin theta. Then only you will be getting the chances of having cot theta in your equation. So divide sin theta both sides. Sin theta by sin theta plus cos theta by sin theta is equal to root 2, and cos 90 minus theta. By seeing this only you understand that it is a sin theta, right? Complementary angles are there. So sin theta, these are all formulas in trigonometry, okay? You should be knowing all this. This is the least expectation the question paper setter will have from the aspirant who is aiming to become a high school teacher, okay? So sin theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta. So here I have sin theta in the right hand side. Because I am dividing it with sin theta both sides, I will write sin theta also in the denominator. So this will get cancelled and this will get cancelled. I will have cos theta upon sin theta, which is cot theta, and here I have 1 and here I have root 2. Okay. So with this I get cot theta is equal to root 2 minus 1. This is the value for cot theta and this is there in my option 4. Okay. So that will be our correct answer. Okay. So trigonometry also we have got 2 to 3 questions till now. So that's why trigonometry is also a very important chapter. Next, question number 48. In a classroom there are X seats. If each student in the class occupies 1 seat, then 9 students remain standing, and if 2 students occupy 1 seat, then 7 seats are left unoccupied. The number of seats in the classroom will be. See, you need to understand the question very carefully by reading again and again. Then only you can answer this type of problem. Okay. So this is a linear equations question. Number of seats, we don't know. We have to find it out. We will give it X. And then number of students when each student occupies 1 seat. How many students are there? X plus 9. Because 9 students are remaining to stand, right? That's why X plus 9. Then number of students when 2 students are occupying 1 seat. Means 2 times the student, that is X, they are occupying the seats, and 7 seats are left. Means minus 7 is left. So what will be the number of students in this situation? It is 2x minus 14. Now you can use the linear equations thing and you can find that X. So X plus 9 is equal to 2x minus 14. Because both are, we are talking about the number of students situation only. But first time the situation is that each student is occupying 1 seat. That means 9 students are remaining to stand. That's why we are adding those students. And if 2 students are occupying 1 seat, then 7 seats are left unoccupied. That's why we are subtracting. Now we are equating these two equations. X minus 2x equal to minus 14 minus 9, or minus x equal to minus 23, or x equal to 23. So we have 23 seats in that classroom. Very easy solution, but for you to click this solution is little tougher. For that you have to practice and practice. Next, question number 49. In a triangle ABC, angle A is equal to 3 times angle C, which is equal to 2 times angle B plus angle C. Then the measure of angle B is. So this is obviously a problem from chapter triangles. The sum of the angles of a triangle is always equal to 180 degree, right? Now they have given that angle A is equal to 3 times angle C plus they have told that angle B plus angle C, if you do it 2 times like this, they have told that 3 times angle C is equal to 2 times angle B plus angle C. So in this situation, angle B plus angle C will be equal to 3 times angle C by 2, right? So that I will write it here. 3 times angle C by 2. This is equal to 180 degree. Now just to simplify, you get 6 times angle C plus 3 times angle C by 2 if you do the LCM. So this will be equal to 180 degree, or 9 times angle C by 2 is equal to 180 degree. Angle C is equal to 180 into 2 by 9. 9 ones are 920s are. So that is your angle C. We know that angle B plus angle C is equal to 3 times angle C by 2, right? So what will be our angle B? Angle B will be equal to 3 times angle C by 2 minus angle C, right? But what is angle C? It is 40 degree, right? So 3 into 40 by 2 minus 40. 2 ones are 2 20s are. So this will be equal to 60 minus 40, or this will be equal to 20 degree. So angle B will be equal to 20 degree. You can also do some verification also. Plus angle B plus angle C is equal to 180 degree, right? So angle A we still don't know, but angle B we got 20. So angle C we got 40. So this will be equal to 180 degree. So with this, angle A should be equal to 180 minus 60. So it should be 120. Now add up and see whether you are getting 180 degree. Angle A is 120. Angle B is how much? 20. Angle C is how much? 40. So this is equal to 180 degree. So that's why angle B will be equal to 20 degree. Next question. In figure, find the radius of the inner circle of the other circles R of radii A. So you have to find the radius of the inner circle if the other circles, all the other circles which are given are of radii A, you have to find the radius of the inner circle, the small circle. You can say that this problem is from quadrilateral, or you can also say that this problem is from chapter circles, because situation is of circles and we are going to use the properties of quadrilaterals in this problem. Diameter, inner circle, let it be small d. So once we find the diameter, we can find the radius also easily, right? So once we know that the radius of each circle is A, this is also A, this is also A and A, we can use Pythagoras theorem. Let me name this ABC. So in this triangle ABC, I can say that AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. This is I have taken this as 90 degree. So that's why I can apply the Pythagoras theorem. So now I will substitute. Only things are to substitute now. So AB will be A plus A whole square and BC will be also A plus A whole square. AC you have to be careful. A plus D plus A whole square, because we are having this diameter in the middle. Okay. Now I have 2A whole square plus 2A whole square. This is equal to 2A plus D whole square. So here I have 4A square plus 4A square, and here I'll keep it as it is, plus D whole square. Okay. So I have a 8A square plus, is equal to 2A plus D whole square. I will put it in the right hand side, I'll get square root. So this is equal to square root of 8A square. So this will be A into root 8. Root 8 will be 4 into 2 or 2 root 2, right? So I can write 2A plus D is equal to 2A root 2. Then D will be equal to, so I can take 2A as common. So 2A into root 2 minus 1. So this is the diameter. But what is the question? The question is we have to find the radius. So radius is equal to D upon 2. So this is equal to 2A into root 2 minus 1 upon 2. So this is equal to A into root 2 minus 1. Okay. So option 2 will be the correct answer. You have to be very careful, because see, if you do some mistake, no, your answer will match with the options. The options are such here. So this was little complicated problem. If you do it carefully, you will definitely reach to the correct answer. Okay friends, so these were the first 10 questions from 2015 HSTR mathematics question paper. If you want more such classes, if you want me to continue with this question paper solving, then I need at least 50 likes for this class. Share this class as much as possible and stay connected with me in this YouTube channel. Please do subscribe if you have not subscribed. And regarding the paid classes, I have already told you, the details are given in the description below this video, or you can mail me to atahar@gmail.com, or you can contact me to this number 9110558369. Okay. Thank you. All the best. Bye.